My name is Henry Gale. I'm from Minnesota. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Welcome to Lost All Caps.
I love that he does that every time. My name is Henry Gale, I'm from Minnesota.
I'm from Minnesota. The way he did it today was like he took a little step and like looked out like he was preparing to do a monologue.
Your motivation is...
Yeah, your motivation is you're Henry Gale and you're from Minnesota. Really reminded me of Inigo Montoya.
He's looking behind the camera and they're holding up a sign that says Henry Gale, Minnesota.
I'm Ariel.
And I'm Velvet.
And what an episode, gang.
What a fucking episode.
Oh my god, if you're watching this for the first time, I'm sure you have many a question.
Oh my god. I'm gonna say at the top of the episode as well, I have a bit of a cold right now, so if I sound really like scratchy, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
And also if it randomly cuts, it means I started coughing. And you don't want to hear that. Trust me, you don't want to hear that. I've been making some disgusting noises.
Oh, lovely.
But I'm not right now.
Hey, that's great. I've been away for the weekend, so Velvet's just had the lurgy at home.
I've just been like in bed like...
I've been down in London with the Spruce Moose gang. Follow at Spruce Moose Comedy on Instagram.
Yes.
We filmed a bunch of new videos that are going to be coming soon, or probably have already mostly been released by the time this episode goes out.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, they're very fun.
That's kind of fun to think about, the fact that like we're recording it at the same time and then it'll kind of be released at the same time.
Yeah, maybe. It depends on how fast the boys edit them.
Yeah, well,
and how fast the boys edit them. The boys being Jack.
Yeah.
Not Jack Shepherd.
The boy.
Wait, this has been
singular.
really confusing.
Wait, okay.
Wait.
Let's reverse engineer it. So when we say the boys...
The boys is a sort of generic term. It's like the royal we, you know?
The royal we. The boys refers to Ariel's friends from Spruce Moose.
Yes.
The boys edit them in reference to the podcast. It's the boy singular.
Boy singular.
The man.
Jack. The man.
Jack, who edits the podcast.
And I'm sure he's having a great time listening to this. So I think let's just jump straight into it.
And hey, I mean, yeah, the boys.
The boys
are going crazy.
The boys are back in town today.
The boys in show. Crazy work. Crazy work.
Crazy work from Jack. From not that Jack, the other Jack. Oh, the boys. Oh, the boys.
Guys.
We've had our, like, female-centric episode.
I was going to say this almost feels like a male-centric episode in the way that maternity leave is a female-centric episode. Not in the sense that it's just about men. Like, it's like, it's really about the male friendships. Yeah. I mean, what I will say about this episode is my main takeaway is, like, gay people can never just go on a date.
Literally!
It's always some shit.
Always some bullshit.
And I have to say, like, I have to admit, watching this for, like, the third time around, I was, like, less taken in by the intense homoeroticism of John and Henry.
See, I thought there was more homoeroticism this time around.
It's balanced out. Because I was like, when we first watched this, I was like, now kiss. Yeah. Immediately. I was like, this is... And I remember, like, saying it to mum and dad, and they were like, what are you talking about? And I was like, are you not watching the same show I'm watching? Like, they're clearly, like, so in love with each other. But this time around, I was like, maybe I overshot a little bit, but maybe that's because I know them as characters, you know?
Maybe.
Also, it might be that as my disdain for John grows, the more I'm just like, get away from him.
Yeah. Yeah. No, because I think when I first watched it, I'm very much focused more on the mythology and the crazy bombshells that happen in this episode. I was really
too busy being like...
paying attention to their dynamic very much. But this time around, I was like... Yeah. Well, the moment... Because a lot of people ship these characters as well, if you aren't on the online circles.
A lot of people do, and if you don't, you should.
Yeah, I'm kind of
is all I'm going to say.
It's like the kind of... You know, it's like the equivalent of Destiel for Lost.
Truly.
I think. Like it's
the equivalent of Destiel for me. I didn't watch Supernatural. I've seen like 4 episodes of Supernatural total.
I'm currently watching Supernatural from the beginning.
I've never watched an episode with Cass in. I've only ever watched episodes from the first, like, 3 series.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good time when he starts cropping in. That's a lie. You watched the one with me. This man is a prophet of the Lord.
Oh, I did.
You watched that one.
I did watch the one where they have supernatural books.
I was watching it, and the opening scene of that episode is they go into a comic book shop for some reason, and they go, "Oh, you two are like LARPing as Sam and Dean from Supernatural," and I was like, "What's in the meta?"
And this was like
shit?
at this point in time, Ariel was in the living room. I was upstairs in bed, and I got a series of texts being like, "Velvet, come downstairs.
You have to come down
right downstairs right now." And I was like, "Something's broken. What's happening?" I was like, the freezer has just started melting everywhere.
Kitchen's on fire.
I came downstairs and Ariel was just like, "Sit down and press play."
And they're talking about how this series of books within the supernatural world has fans. Those fans write fan fiction about like Sam/Dean, like Wincest. They were talking about Wincest shippers in Supernatural.
And I have to say, like, it is an effective technique because, like, if I was a Wincest shipper, like, that would put me off.
That would put you off.
I'd be like, oh, don't acknowledge it. Because whenever a show tries to meta acknowledge its fans, I'm always like, oh, and now I don't want to do that anymore.
I mean, it was so embarrassing. I can't believe that they did that. It honestly is awful. But I think if I was a Wincest shipper, I would be excited about the fact
maybe you'd be like, this is confirmation.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then there's one later on, this one like really rabid fan who's like their biggest fan. And the author of the books literally video calls her while she's writing Wincest fanfiction. Like, she's literally saying the words out loud as she's typing them. And I'm like, what is this show? What is this show, actually? What is it?
It's insane.
Supernatural is it's like a guilty pleasure for me because it's just like, it's so bad.
It is. But
I love it.
It's terrible in such a fantastic way. I love it. I do.
Anyway.
But the thing is, right, the thing about John and Henry is that really gets me is that it's one of those things where I'm just like, why was Lost not part of the like super Hulock fandom era? Because like everybody loves Old Man Yaoi.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Old Man Yaoi.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a bit of like homoerotic tension. I mean, we've got all kinds of homoerotic tension going on this episode.
We'll get to it. There's
lot. So much of it, and like, all the Jack Sawyer shippers out there, I know you all love this episode. Mm-hmm. I've seen many a post about this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm just like, it genuinely truly baffles me why it wasn't part of that. Because I'm like, yeah, the mystery, but also the gay.
Yeah. I mean, I reckon it was maybe a bit mainstream. Like, no one watches Lost now, so it's a bit of like a cult classic for people like us to be like, you guys haven't seen Lost?
We're not like other girls.
We're not like other girls. But I think at the time it was very mainstream, like everybody watched it. It was like primetime TV. So maybe...
I mean, I guess, but also it did have like obsessive fans.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, like, Doctor Who is pretty mainstream.
That's true, actually.
Doctor Who is kind of the mainstream show.
Yeah, maybe it's like, because in America it's not. It's like a weird little British show that basically no one's seen.
Yeah.
So maybe it was like that for the UK. We're essentially doing that, aren't we? That's what this is. That's us going, yeah, you guys, I bet you guys have never heard of this show.
We're like the equivalent of American Doctor Who fans.
Yeah, we're the equivalent of American Doctor Who fans.
Maybe. I mean, I know, like, I guess I don't know much about the Doctor Who fandom. I don't know how popular it was. I know that, like, from what our parents have told us, it did kind of go through a deeply rough patch.
Yeah.
Kind of pre-Tennant, I think.
Yeah,
or maybe the one before
how did people
that.
feel about Eccleston? He was the one before that.
I think they liked him, but I think it was the guy before that. There was a guy...
There was like a 20, 30 year
There was
break.
a big gap. It was like, there was a guy that nobody really liked, and then they got this kids TV presenter, because they was like, he's gonna be good, and then he was really bad, according to Dad at least. I don't know if you guys liked him, then like, whatever.
Write in, please. We've actually never seen an episode of Doctor Who.
No, too scary.
Which is very surprising for us. Too scary?
Yeah.
Too scary?
Is that not why you don't watch it?
No! I don't watch it because I don't have the time.
Mum told me I wasn't allowed to watch it as a child because she said it would scare me, and I've just kind of carried that with me. Also, it's like, I once said that if I was going to start watching it, I'd start watching from the beginning, and then everybody laughed at me, and then I was like, well, now I'm not doing it at all.
Well, you start watching from the beginning being Eccleston, beginning of the reboot.
No,
That's what I've been told.
But I think it's funnier to start watching from the beginning.
I mean, I do love, like, old shows, like 60s Star Trek is...
peak.
It's something else, let's just say.
It's so
not
good.
It's not as good as the modern Star Treks, but it's its own thing in a way.
Did you know, also, sorry to immediately derail this from Doctor Who, but I forgot to tell you this, and you're going to be really dumbfounded by it.
Oh my god, here we go.
So, in my film class this week, we watched a film called Excalibur, which is about, like, King Arthur and Merlin. I forget the name of the guy who's directed it. Sorry, David. David's my film tutor. But, right, I found out it's, like, one of the reasons it was criticised was for having, like, a bunch of unknown actors in it. And Patrick Stewart's there.
What?
But it was, like, before he was famous.
No way!
And he's, like... I can't even remember what character he plays, but he was in it. And it's, like, I genuinely read, like... It was like an article that was cited that was like this list of actors, and one of them was Patrick Stewart, was like who nobody's heard of.
Nobody's heard of this Patrick Stewart guy. I don't think he's ever going to amount to anything.
And I was like, first of all, yeah, it was like pre-Star Trek, it was like X-Men, but also he's not exactly young in the film. Like, he had still been doing like UK theatre for decades.
Maybe it's because he was a theatre actor.
I guess, but I was like, they're like, I'm trying to find out what year it was.
Funny.
But I was like, that's like the idea of Patrick Stewart being an unknown actor. So, like, up and coming young star Patrick Stewart. What I was going to say.
Speaking of bald men.
Yeah, let's just forget about Doctor Who, actually, I don't care.
Yeah, look, we could go on a whole tangent. We've got so much to talk about with this episode, right?
So, yeah, speaking of bald men, John's wig is back. Yeah. Bald men from Star Trek.
John's also in an episode.
Hey, John was in that one episode of Star Trek.
Imagine Henry Gale in Star Trek, sorry. He'd have to be like, there's a Klingon character in DS9 called Gorn, I think. No, not Gorn. Morn. No, not Morn. Fuck, I can't remember his name.
Corn.
Anyway, he has these crazy, like, big bulbous eyes.
Amazing.
Like, he's constantly doing this. Like, in any given situation, so that would be him, I think.
It would be. Holodeck episode where they go to Lost Island.
Yes!
So John, you know what? I have to say, he didn't piss me off as much in this episode.
Piss you off.
Piss me off. I was trying not to cough. The return of John.
I would say the only thing that lets this episode down is the flashbacks.
They're not very strong.
They're not great. And I think that's the only time that you could say that John could piss you off. Like,
it's a lot of like the same shit, different day, you know? It's like everything we see in this episode we've already seen.
Yeah.
Anthony manipulates John. Helen gets pissed off at John. John is a terrible boyfriend.
Yeah.
John has a boring job. Like,
and daddy issues. And
daddy issues. And, like, none of it really means anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of like, you know, it seems like he has been living this sort of happy life with Helen in the interim. But, you know, at the end of the other set of flashbacks where she's like, you got to choose him or me, and he kind of just holds her hand. And we were saying at the time that feels non-committal. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, Diva, it was. Because ultimately he did choose Anthony over her. Yeah. Because why the fuck would you do it? I just can't. I literally wrote down, John, you are obviously being manipulated. The whole retirement card. Well, if you could do one more thing for me, if I never see you again, I'll understand. Oh my god.
Walk away.
My god.
Are you that stupid?
Like, this has literally already happened to you.
This has happened before. He stole an organ from you.
From your body.
Out of your back. Why are we trusting him? Why are we trusting him?
Helen's great in the flashbacks, though.
Diva.
Hey, who knows? Maybe he left you your liver.
She's hilarious. She is hilarious. She's I like her in this episode. I usually am like, ugh, Helen, because I'm just like,
yeah.
It's not that I don't like Helen, it's just that these flashbacks kind of do nothing for me. It was like a sad moment, and I just wrote down, oh, Helen, leave his ass.
Leave his, and she does.
And she does.
Ultimately, she does.
Deep, I love, the best moment, the shining moment of all, well, there's a different shining moment of all the flashbacks, but the shining moment of the narrative of the flashbacks opens the door, and you hear him, doesn't even wait for an answer, smack across the face.
No, because he tries to say something slimy like, listen, sweetheart. Slap.
Smack across the face, storm out, break up with John.
Yeah.
Diva.
And look good while doing it. She had a great dress on for no
She did.
reason. Like, she was just serving, just like walking through that car park. Like, you lied to me, you looked me in the eyes and you lied to me.
That's like her Princess Diana revenge dress.
Yes. But I do quite like that scene in that it's like, it's happening right next to an airport and we see
The oceanic flight come in.
an oceanic plane land.
The planes are also so close.
So
to the hotel.
close.
How is anyone sleeping in that motel? The plane was practically landing on the roof.
I know. The CGI budget can only
I was
stretch
like,
so
that
far.
was so close.
But kind of cool that you have one like landing right at the end, and I kind of like the sort of tragic, messy proposal bit.
Yeah, it's good. It's good because it's so awful because you're like, oh, John, don't do this, you know?
He's never caught a break in his life, basically. But again, we knew that. Do you know what I mean? We got that from
Yeah.
Walkabout. We don't necessarily need... Like, a lot of the John ones kind of fall into the trap of not really giving us much.
This is the thing. I think the
More.
big problem with John's character is that the first 2 episodes essentially tell us everything about him.
Yeah.
And it's like, because the first episode establishes him as like this lonely man who's got like nothing going on in his life, and then we find out he was in the wheelchair and that the universe has given him a fresh start. The island has given him a fresh start.
Yeah.
And then it's like we find out about his dad and his kidney, and that's why he's so got all these psychological problems, and also about like him being in foster care and him like whatever, never having like a family. And
Is
it's
he
like
special, all of this stuff, yeah.
that's it. We know it all now. And then I think the writers really got stuck on just like, where do we go with John?
Yeah.
And I honestly, maybe a hot take, but don't you think it would have been interesting if we never had another flashback episode for him?
I kind of made the lost noise just then, didn't I?
You did.
That was really
I
funny.
think it would have to only be, if we only had Walkabout, and then we never had another flashback, because it was like John started his life over, and he doesn't think about his old life anymore. Don't you think that would have been really cool?
That would be very poetic. I would really like that, yeah. It's just, it would be...
It wouldn't work with the structure of the show.
Well, no, it could work, but I think it would be an interesting... it would be like a definitive choice by the writers to go, here is one of our main characters, and we're never going to see inside his head again. But it could have worked.
It could have really worked, especially when you're pitting him against Jack, who has like loads of these flashbacks.
Yeah. And I feel like even though a lot of Jack's ones, they're probably a bit more samey, right? Like, if we have a Jack flashback, it's probably going to be in the hospital, you know? But, like, they all do reveal something new.
It does teach us something new, absolutely. The only one is, like, the last one we had. I was a bit like...
With the Italian lady.
Yeah, I was a bit like, well, there's not much we're learning from this episode. We know that he got married. We know that he's divorced.
Yeah.
Like, it was interesting, don't get me wrong, and it was cool to see, like, Jack's reputation as this, like, miracle worker and, like, all of that. But that was the only, like, the rest of them did teach us all these new things about Jack.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is, like, what am I learning about John? That he's a fucking sucker.
Yeah. But, you know, be careful what you wish for, because we learn some new things about Jack later
do.
on.
That we wish we didn't.
That we wish we didn't. And there's a hint at it in this episode, which I never picked up on before, so it seems that they did plant the seeds, or at the very least, I think when it got to season 3, the writers were like, okay, what can we
They were, like, dredging up all the throwaway lines.
Rewatching all of
like,
that. Okay, let's just draw on that. Let's do a whole episode about that thing.
And we're going to leave that there.
We're going to leave that there.
If you
no
know, you know.
spoilers, but if you know, you unfortunately know.
But the thing... I guess the idea, like, with John, it's like he's falling for this obvious scam again. He's always gonna, like, have this vulnerability to someone who pretends to care about him. Definitely points us towards something about Henry Gale, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Like, when Henry's like, why'd you let him speak to you like that? Like, he's being
I was
manipulated
like, shut
again.
It's funny, I didn't really remember that scene. In my head, the episode just started with them both, like, locking him back in the vault.
In my head, it was a lot more... So, you know the stuff that he's saying at the start where it's like, it was just a joke, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. It was that, but he was being, like, held by the collar. In my memory, Jack was, like, holding him by the collar, and he's like, come on, guys, it was a joke!
I'm just a little guy and it's my birthday.
I'm just a little guy and it's my birthday, yes.
Yeah, and he was being like, I was joking, and then immediately got shoved away. But I think it's interesting they don't, like, act immediately. But yeah, I mean, they're like, why do you let him speak to you like that? Come on.
But this...
John!
The journey that Henry goes on in this episode is so interesting and fascinating.
It is very interesting.
And I think if I could sum this episode up in one word, it would be tension. I think it's a masterclass in tension. Like, even the previously on, it's the first note I made, the previously on is really long, and it really sort of takes you on a narrative over what we've been experiencing with these two characters over the course of this series. And it even had like some flashback John bits as well, and it's like, it really built the tension. Then we get flashback, and then we're straight back into where we were. And
it's like same minute. I love when like two episodes flow directly into each other in TV shows. Even more beautiful when it's like a previously on that just carries on. Like, I think that happens in the beginning of the series with Desmond. But yeah, that was really great. But at first we had to see John's attempt at domesticity. Read the obituaries.
It's kind of a fun character trait of Helen's that she reads the obituaries every day, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit
Quirky.
of like an obvious plot device to be like, so how are they going to find out he's dead? I don't know, what if Helen reads the obituaries? But it did make me laugh.
But I'm like, we could reveal something about that, couldn't we? Like, you know, like she kind of has this like morbid sort of fascination, or like likes to sort of think of things in the kind of past or whatever.
Okay,
I'm going to talk about sort of the structure of the episode.
Go on, do tell.
I think probably it's my favourite part of the episode, just the way it's structured. It's like a little movie. Do you know what I mean? Or a play or something. So we got this big tension at the beginning, and then before we get the title sequence, we get the balloon scene. Now that... I was so gagged when we first saw it. I was like, there's no way he's telling the truth. We've just heard him do the "you guys got any milk" monologue.
Yeah.
There is no way he's telling the truth. And then it's like, boom, he is. Oh my God, this whole time we've been beating up an innocent man. What do we do? And we have that in our heads as audience. The whole episode. We don't see anything more from those three characters until the very, very, very end, when it twists it completely on its head and it's like, no, he was lying the entire time.
Because also, it's like, the thing about this episode is that the way Henry behaves is not the behaviour of someone who's innocent. But the whole time we just trust him and we believe him, because we're like...
In this episode or in
this episode. Like, so, for example, like, like when he's helping John and stuff, I'm like, yeah, that's very nice of him, and like, all of that. But it's like, it's the bit at the end, specifically, when it's like, the doors go up, the blast doors go up. And also, could I say, Chekhov's blast doors?
Chekhov's blast doors!
Michael pointed them out, 10 episodes ago?
Oh, that one has been waiting. It's been sitting and waiting.
Michael pointed them out in, like, episode 4. Hey, why do you have blast doors? I don't know. Now we know. Well, we don't know, but now we sort of know.
Well, we can speculate, but we'll get onto that. Make your point. Sorry, that came out quite aggressive.
No, it's fine. The blast doors go up. And John's crawling around on the floor, bleeding
out, crawling on the floor.
Hello, is anybody there? If you were innocent, you would run. If I was Henry, and if I was innocent, I would put the code in the computer. Because I would be like, what's that? This alarm's going off, something's got to happen. But like, your only captor is literally under a door.
What if you had a little crush on the guy who was your captor, though? What then?
And then leads into the other possibility. That he's like, no, but he's hurt. He needs me to look after him.
Yeah, the bit... see, because it's not that I've never seen the homoeroticism, of course I have. But the bit that cemented it today for me was when it was like, thank you for not leaving me? And he goes, you're welcome, John. And he does that little smile. I was like, yeah.
It's so many moments. The bit when John opens the, like, armory door, the way he's looking at him.
Also, I suppose it was very, like, leave me behind kind of stuff. You know, when he gets the bolt in his leg and it's like, no, we've got no time, come on. He's like, well, maybe we can wait for help, no.
I wrote down, like, Saw bathroom-ass situation, which, as we know, Michael Emerson, who's playing Henry Gale, was in Saw.
Yeah.
And this is like, I don't know if you know the plot of the first Saw movie.
No.
But the important part is there's these two guys in a bathroom. One of them has his foot caught in a bear trap.
Oh.
And he's like, they're both like chained up and they're trying to get free, and then they're like, they have this moment where they like touch foreheads and like hold shoulders, and it's like, I'm never gonna leave you, I'm not gonna leave you behind. And it's like one of them could escape because he's like unchained, but the other one's got it, and they've got to saw his foot off.
Oh.
Saw. And try and get him out. And that's like very much like, I'm never gonna leave you. Hyperventilating from blood loss, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Very much what's going on in this episode. Also, sorry to any Saw fans who have just listened to me butcher the movie. That's my understanding of it. I've not seen it.
Very, very quick tangent. My friend told me this weekend that she did a Saw-themed escape room.
That's peak, actually. I
No, it sounded terrifying. She was like, we got blindfolded and led... I was like, what the fuck? Why did you agree to this?
But yeah, I mean, obviously, like, also it's very poignant having a leg injury for John.
Of course.
When, did you catch right at the end when Henry is helping him? I was trying to remember if it was Henry or Jack, but it's Henry. It says, like, can you stand? And he goes, like, I'm not sure. And then he goes, yes. And I'm like, because he doesn't want to be like...
No,
he's
can't.
Like, no, I
not.
can.
Yeah,
I can get up. I could walk on my own. He's clearly
He can't tell himself what he can't do.
Crazy. Yeah. I was like, that's very like... And obviously with the symbolism of like his father and all of that. I mean, we still don't know how John ended up...
Still don't know.
Wheelchair bound. Which is interesting.
Check it off, another John flashback where we still don't find out how he ended up in a wheelchair.
I think the other reason why they do so many inconsequential episodes, because every single time you're like, this is the one!
This is the one! No. But oh my god, what an awful injury with the...
Oh, when the door goes up and it like squelches.
Yeah.
Horrible.
But yeah, that scene is kind of crazy when they're like... He's like slides under with the... What even is it?
It's like a meter stick or something.
Some kind of thing. And then they put the thing from the dumbbell in. Yeah. And then they use that to push the red box under. Now the red box, Chekhov's toolbox. In the literal like first time we go into the hatch, we see that toolbox. I noticed it this time because when we were watching it, and it was, I think it is actually the lockdown episode where I saw it. But you know when John's alone in the hatch, he's like, don't leave me by myself kind of vibe. Uh-huh. You see the red toolbox there, and I went, oh my god, that's the toolbox that gets crushed when his leg gets crushed.
Oh, nice. And obviously, like, the dumbbells and stuff we see right at the beginning, when we don't even know where we are.
All of it. Kind of is all building up to this, in a way.
In a way. It is. Because also, like, we talked a lot at the beginning about the paintings on the walls in the tunnel. And being like, someone's, are they supposed to be like someone's losing their mind, whatever. The numbers and stuff. And now we have this painting on the blast door wall that glows in the dark.
Is it time? The blast door map. The blast door map is possibly like one of the most iconic like little mysteries.
It's like one of the best moments that I think in the whole show, because like you said, the building of the tension of this situation to being like, Henry's just gonna run away, the hatch is gonna like end the world, whatever.
Yeah.
The alarm's going off. John obviously very much feels like the world's about to end. And the lights go out, and then it's the way it's done, his face.
Yeah, I love that.
He looks, and his eyes go wide.
The wall, I like it when you first just see the wall, and you don't even see the exciting thing, because he's not looking at the exciting thing yet. He's just looking at the wall to be like, why is this light gone off?
Yeah.
Love.
And then he turns, and then we get this map. And then the lights turn back on. Yeah. And it's not there anymore.
Now, you may have, like I did when I first watched this, shat your pants at that and just been like, what the fuck, what does this mean? Uh-huh. So let's break it down. As much as we can for you guys. So,
So obviously in
Big octagon.
in the centre there's a big question mark.
Big question mark in the centre of a big octagon. We know they like
Big octagon.
octagons.
The logo,
The logo, the number 8. But this is clearly some kind of map of the island rather than something Dharma-y. I suppose it could be Dharma-y, like the Dharma Initiative built all their stations in an octagon on the island. But we know it's a map because there's a circle at the bottom with a swan in it and an arrow to that saying, I am here. So that's obviously the Swan Station.
Now, interesting that it says, I am here.
I was thinking that too.
Not we are here.
Mm-hmm.
Which means this was made by Desmond, ?
In his sort of manic isolation.
It was made by someone singularly and alone.
Mm-hmm.
Not by someone in the team. And now, this, like, to me, leads me to think that it's like, I don't know, because, like, Desmond, right, he doesn't work for the Dharma Initiative. He was brought onto the island by this coincidental boat crash. Dragged in by...
Name my new album.
Name Kelvin?
Coincidental boat crash.
Coincidental boat crash.
Yeah, Kelvin.
By Kelvin. We don't know anything about Kelvin, but, like, if you worked for the Dharma Initiative, surely you would know the layout of the island, and you would know where all the other stations are.
Yeah, unless it's a kind of like, because you can't go outside, trying to remember it.
But it's interesting. I would believe this was drawn by Desmond.
I mean, we have known
but
nothing about...
But then if he's been exploring the island all this time, how could we ever come across any people?
Exactly. So maybe he hasn't been exploring.
But what we also learn from the end of this episode, where we have this food delivery, is that he must have been going outside.
Yeah, to get the food.
To get the food. So this answers a beautiful question mark.
Yes. This episode finally promises to answer one question.
And this, I think,
we did get an answer.
I think it's beautifully done that, because I was really ready to just never find out where all that food was coming from.
Yeah.
And to just be like, oh, it's just been in there, but it's happened to be preserved, and that's the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
How has he been surviving doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What matters is we're here now.
Yeah.
But I think it's so well done in that also we don't see it drop. It's just like, what the fuck is that? Over there. And it's not like, oh, we can hear something falling. What was that crash? It's just like, what? So we don't know how long it's been there.
It almost feels a bit magical, doesn't it?
Yeah. We don't know how long it's been there. We don't know when it fell. We don't know what time it fell. We don't know who dropped it.
No.
We didn't see a plane come over.
No.
You know, a helicopter let loose this thing. This means that, like, if somebody dropped it, someone knows where the island is.
Yeah.
So they've missed a chance to signal at someone.
Yeah.
That they need help.
Because they've all just given up hope of getting off the island now, haven't they?
Yeah.
But it's
and
like they
it's
could
like,
have. Maybe.
There's food in there. It's fresh. We now know where Desmond was getting his food from.
Yes.
It's insane.
It's really exciting because you just don't expect it. Because we've already had so many more questions asked in this episode. You really don't expect.
It's kind of like you've forgotten about it. Like, even last episode when we had Henry Gale going, wow, where'd you guys get cereal? And it's like, don't worry about that, Henry.
Yeah.
Shut up.
We've got bigger fish to fry. And he's like, you
More
guys have
importantly,
fish?
are you lying? Like, and it's like, we don't even when I was watching that, I was like, yeah, you know. Oh, wow, where'd you get the food? But it's like, now we know.
Now we know. So to me, this is really obviously saying, I think the lockdown and the food drop happening at the same time.
Not a coincidence.
No, can't be.
Or is it fate?
It's gotta be fate, for real. Because I'm like, it was, the way that the lockdown started was these speakers that seemed to have never been used before. Or like, in the show, I mean. Because there was like so quiet. It was like a woman's voice and really staticky. And like you couldn't hear basically anything she was saying, and John had to fiddle with it in order to turn the volume up, basically. And I really like that it like blasted out on 8.
Yeah.
Because not only is it, oh fuck, we're in the middle of a countdown, but it's also one of the numbers.
And also I love that it starts when he's got a record on.
Yeah.
And at first he thinks the record is like skipping, and then he's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. Really cool, really clever. Yeah, I like sort of missing really crucial things rather than like, do-dum. Oh my god, a big dramatic thing happens. Like, it kind of just happens coincidentally in terms of their life in the hatch.
Yeah. So would you say that the lockdown is to stop them from going out when the parachute drops?
Yes. I think so. They
Because
lock
I think
him
that
in
makes sense.
for like however long.
However long it was, I guess we don't know. It was probably like a good few hours. I mean, it's dark by the time...
No, when he goes and sees the button, it's on 47 minutes. So
It just got dark really quickly.
It just got dark really quickly. I guess continuity error. Shh, we don't talk.
I mean, it is, because it's also like, you know, that all happened in like 100.
Let's say it's an hour for ease.
Let's say it's about an hour.
Because, you know,
it was only dark for dramatic effect. I feel like we could just blow past that. Like,
and like, you know, she maybe wouldn't have been able to see the beacon, the flashing beacon if it was light.
Yeah, I mean, that again, it's like, how long has it been there for?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess after they sort it out, they could have done another round of buttoning in between.
I suppose.
But it's unlikely, but it could happen.
But I think it's so that the people in the hatch can't communicate, because we know from the missing section of the orientation video, they don't want the people who are in the hatch to communicate with the outside world.
Yes, they're not allowed to use the computer for the other...
It's a way of isolating them even further and preventing them from trying to, like, signal the people in the plane, I'm assuming it's a plane, who are dropping the thing.
I would assume, I mean, how else?
How else?
Big bird.
A smiley face, hot air balloon. No, it's the eagles from Lord of the Rings. We've already established that Lost and Lord of the Rings is happening in the same...
The big eagles.
It's the big eagles that
flying
say Sam and
over.
Frodo at the end.
Hey, they said they were investigating zoology. Maybe they've been breeding big birds.
Maybe they have. So I think it's to stop the workers from going out whilst the pallet drop happens. But you raise a really good point. They have to go out in order to get the food somehow. So there must be a way... Well, Desmond knew about the door, but he must have been able to use the door.
First of all, yeah, he must have known somehow that the drop was going to happen. Right?
Who must have?
Desmond, or whoever's in the hatch. Like, there must...
Well, yeah, there's a woman saying it on the speaker.
Yeah, but the speaker's broken.
Yeah, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe Desmond broke it right before he left. Maybe Kate broke it when she was crawling through the vents.
Right as he was running out, he was like, you guys are going to die. While I'm here, I'm going to punch this speaker.
Yeah. Likely thing for him to do.
I mean, he was acting crazy, I guess. But yeah, like, it's like... But also, he thinks he can't go out, because if he goes outside, he's going to get sick and die.
Yeah, so...
But
so
he
what's
gets
going
food
on
from
there?
outside.
How come the food's not infected? Does it have to... Do you remember during COVID when
to
we
wipe
used to
everything
anti-bac
down?
wipe all of our food when we got it from the shop?
Yeah, maybe they do that.
Maybe they do that. But then if there's like some kind of screening or disinfectant process, why couldn't he just go out as he pleased? Okay, so that explains why the lockdown happens, right?
Yeah.
Is to stop them from seeing when the pallet drop happens of food. But it doesn't explain why the lights keep flickering on and off throughout the whole... Again, a very good use of tension. Like, all the lights keep going kind of on and off. But why black lights? Why do black lights show up?
Yeah, I mean, that's very much like... Which could mean nothing. I'm like, that, I think... On a level, I'm inclined to be like, it's just because they have to see the map somehow.
Oh, well, it's cool, sure, but there's got to be an in-world explanation for it. What purpose could the black lights have? Because also... In a normal, if you're two Dharma Initiative workers, right, and you hear the lockdown thing happening, you're going to go into the hatch room. The reason they do that announcement is to say, please make your way to the computer room because we're about to shut the doors.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what is wrong with John, because he needs to still push the button. So you wouldn't even see that.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. What I was going to say is maybe the black lights illuminated something in the computer room that Henry Gale saw that he hasn't told us about.
Ooh!
Maybe there's something on the other side of the door.
Oh! Ignore everything written on the other side of this door.
You know?
Yeah, that'd
Maybe
be
the computer screen will come up with a message being like, your food delivery has arrived. Please come outside.
Yeah, maybe.
Present your ID and get the crates. Like, maybe, you know? But yeah, it's clearly whoever's made this map is someone who wasn't following orders. You know?
It feels definitely secretive.
Like the fact that it's behind the blast doors that only come down in like emergency situations, and also is painted in glow-in-the-dark paint that you can only see when the black lights go on. Clearly the powers that be, the guy, Dr. Marvin Candle from the orientation video, isn't supposed to know it's there.
Yeah. Which is really exciting, because it's like John has now gotten this secret message.
Yeah.
From someone in the past, even.
Yeah.
I mean, even if the past is just Desmond, like...
It's still like a message that and there's no way to get answers for it.
Yeah, because Desmond's gone. Everyone else is gone.
And now he's got to, like, if he even wants to look at it again, he's going to have to try and...
I mean, how would he even do that?
Trigger another lockdown somehow.
He doesn't even know how the lockdown was triggered.
He doesn't even know about the delivery.
Doesn't even know a thing about a damn thing. Yeah. So exciting. And one thing that I really wanted to just bring up is there was a point when, so they found the pallet drop and Jack goes like, don't, like, be careful or whatever. But Kate goes over and she picks up a box that says macaroni and cheese supper on it, and then gave a really confused look to the camera, and I thought that was so beautiful. I thought that was brilliant. And there's a moment later on in series 3, which is quite famous for being, like, out of context. It looks really funny because something super normal is happening.
With, like, dramatic music in the background.
Kate is going, she's, like, reacting really horrified. And I'm like, why do people not use this? I think this is a great example of that. Like, macaroni cheese supper.
She's lactose intolerant. She's like, oh God. Macaroni
It's going to be
cheese.
so over for me. Jack, you better get that plumbing fixed quickly.
What a shit excuse also.
I know! Such a bad lie!
What a shit excuse!
Is it because he's still mad at her?
It's because he doesn't want anyone to know that Henry's there.
Oh! I didn't think about that.
So it's like
I thought he was just like, oh, don't come with me to the hatch, don't like you.
No, it's because they're like...
Yeah, no, of course it's that.
Because there was a different... Last episode, I think it was, they were being like, why is it just John and
Kate's
Jack doing
gonna
all
be
the shifts?
pissed off that she didn't know about Henry. She's gonna be fuming.
I'd be mad as hell if that was me.
Mad as hell.
What happened to Inner Circle, Jack?
The loop.
Loop, dude!
Loop. Genre aware once again, Hurley.
As ever, genre aware.
Oh, just so good.
Oh,
And just
it was
thinking about, like,
so-
Rousseau going, for a long time, he will lie. I love that line, and it's like, you got to keep that in the back of your head this whole time, and you're just like, this episode takes you on such a roller coaster, because it's like, he's been lying for such a long time. No, he hasn't. Yes, he has.
Yeah. So much about, like, also just, like, the way... The thing about it as well is it's like, if Henry is lying, how much is he lying about?
We know nothing at this point, because it just ended. The episode just ended.
Because it's like, also... There are things he seems genuinely surprised about, you know? Stuff like, where did you get cereal? And, like, what is...
He was freaking out in this episode. What's
Freaking
happening?
out.
John!
And,
John!
The great thing about this episode is that it puts John and Henry on a level playing field, because neither of them know what's going on.
Yeah, and also, it's a two-man job to try and get that door open.
Yeah.
They need each other.
You and your partner should take shifts.
Oh my god, yes!
To make sure that the button is always being pushed.
That's exactly what's happening right now.
And it's like, this is it. They have to do it together. And yeah, like, Henry is freaking out. Like, the way I love the bit where he's like, what's happening? And John's like, will you shut up? You're talking over the announcement.
Say something. But then I really like how that's paralleled later on, when he's like, Henry, say something, Henry, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much yearning. They're just yearning for each other.
Or the amount of sort of tender touches that go on. When, like, John is, like, sat up and his leg's just been crushed and Henry is like, lay down. And he, like, holds his back. Come on. I wrote homoerotically laying him down.
Lovely.
I've, like, there's a lot of sort of tender shoulder touching.
But yeah, okay, so then it's like, so we know he's lying now, right?
We know he's not Henry Gale.
We know he's
right?
not Henry
And
Gale.
And it's completely inconclusive because the guy on the ID is black.
Yeah. Could never be him.
When I saw that, I was like, they've clearly picked, like, a picture of a black guy, so it's like, there's no way that's him. He can't just be like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention I had facial reconstruction surgery.
Yeah.
I mean...
No, they definitely did that on
Definitely
purpose.
not him.
But we finally had our favourite line in the whole show. Shall we say it together? So I dug up that grave.
Because it's like, only Saeed. It's such deranged behaviour.
So deranged and
to
unhinged.
be like, we have proof that this is true. I don't believe him. I'm going to dig up his dead
the
wife.
grave? It's so awful and brilliant, right?
And it's so, like, it very much lends to, like, there's another beautiful universe in which there's an episode that's just about Ana Lucia and Charlie and Saeed, and it's like a Saeed flashback episode, and we just get to see him sort of digging with his hands. And everyone is like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it really goes to that kind of really intense military situations he's been in.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, like, you know, when he has to do the torturing for the first time, and he says, like, the American man.
He doesn't stop.
He, like, won't stop, and he's also like, you know, they buried him in an unmarked grave.
I can take you there, because he's kept torturing him even after he's got the information of what happened to the guy. It's very that. It's really like it's that, like, he knows the extent people will go to cover up a story, you know? It's so sinister, and it's so, like, shocking as well to, like, oh, so we're digging up grave. I mean, we've actually already dug up a grave, haven't we?
Marshal.
We dug up the Marshal. We did dig up the Marshal.
But they did have to do that.
They did have to do that, unfortunately. But Saeed had to do it.
I
had to do it to him.
And it's also just, like, Henry's face when he says, so I dug up that grave, is like,
it's just excellent.
Didn't see that one coming, did you? Like, it's like, I could just, like, I have this beautiful image of, like, him setting it up and being like, and there's a grave, and even if they dig it up, there's a body in it, you know? The fact that there's even a body in the grave, and it's like, and it's just, if he'd taken the guy's wallet, you know?
Yeah.
Put it somewhere else.
Well, I mean, how decomposed is this body?
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. Do we think the story of Henry Gale is therefore true? He was ballooning across, he crashed.
4 months ago or whatever.
He said he'd be there. He said he'd been there. How long did he say he'd been there?
4 months, I think.
Yeah, it's longer than they've been there for.
Yeah.
So, like...
But his wife died 2 weeks ago or something, he said. So Henry Gale could have been living out there, and then 2 weeks ago, this guy showed up, bang, shot him, and was like, no, I'm going undercover, I'm stealing your identity.
Yeah. I'm going to cut off your face and wear it as my face.
Yeah, exactly. Because Saeed goes, it wasn't a woman's body, it was a man's body, and I'm like, I feel like he wouldn't be able... If it was like a skeleton...
He's not going to be like, judging by the pelvis.
Yeah. It was like Jack could when we found Adam and Eve, but I don't think Saeed would be able to.
That's the kind of thing you only really learn in medical school, I fear. Like, because also, like, something I've learned from, and again, I don't know how true this is, I read it online, but that, like, in terms of archaeology and stuff, you know, because I in the context of, like, you know, the rhetoric for, like, trans people of being like, well, when they dig up your bones, they're gonna know. And it's, like, actually, the primary thing that archaeologists use to determine the gender of a, like, exhumed corpse is, like, context.
Really?
It's actually stuff like what clothes they're wearing and what kind of burial it was and, like, who they're with and stuff that actually determines what it is. And things like shoulders and pelvis and stuff that are actually, like, sex differentiators are not as commonly used to identify bodies.
There you go, that's so interesting.
Which I think is really interesting, and I think obviously, like, those indicators are there, but I think it's more likely that, that Saeed kind of judged it based on...
Well, I mean, if you've gone to the trouble of digging up a whole grave with your hands, you're not going to just be like, seems legit, and then leave. You're going to examine that body very carefully.
You're not going to be like, well, I found a body.
Yeah.
I think also, like, when... And maybe if it was more of a comedy show, they would have done this. Maybe a bit more modern as well. But when we first watched it, I remember so vividly when Saeed says, like, it wasn't a woman's body, it was a man's. I was really expecting Henry to go, okay, you got me, I'm gay. I didn't want to tell you because you didn't seem cool.
Just this whole time, he was just worried about homophobia.
They were both called Henry, and then they got married, and now they're both called Henry Gale.
They're both called Henry Gale.
That would be my cover story.
We think it's the dramatic twist, and then next episode just starts with, okay, you got me.
The next episode is a Henry squared flashback episode.
Yes. It starts with their wedding.
I now pronounce you Henry and Henry Gale. You may kiss the groom.
Imagine. Do you think there are couples out there who do just have the same exact name?
Well, there are. I've seen online. It was someone who was like, it's like Uncle Dave and Uncle Dave. And they're just...
You must keep your surnames at that point, sure.
I think, yeah. I mean, I don't think they were married. I
like
think
a letter gets sent to your house.
known as like Uncle Dave and Uncle Dave. But yeah.
You don't know who it's for.
Yeah.
That must just be so inconvenient.
Or one of you just changes your first name.
Yeah.
Surely. But that would be such a funny plot twist. Because also, like, how do they prove that?
Yeah, true.
See?
Oh, gay marriage isn't legal, is it, at this time? Not in Minnesota, at least.
Not in Minnesota, it's
true. He's been yapping about the fact that he's from Minnesota.
The only flaw in an otherwise perfect man. He's from the future.
He's from the future!
And what's more, and this ID was issued in 2018. The smiley face balloon that travels through time. This is my pitch for a Lost spin-off.
It's like a gay couple, both with the same exact name, who travel through time on a smiley face balloon.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's a balloon. One of them's actually from the past. One of them's like a full-on Phineas
It's like the
Fogg.
time traveller's wife.
No.
Is that what the time traveller's wife is about?
No, that's not what the time traveller's wife is about.
Okay.
It's like the Around the World in 80 Days guy.
Yeah.
He's like a Victorian gentleman. Well, I'm going to go around the whole world. Yes, I am indeed. And oh my god, my hot air device. And then he accidentally goes into an anomaly. He gets spat out in the 2020s. He meets another man, other Henry.
They get married.
They fall in love.
But his Victorian brain can't compute modern technology, so they still have to travel around by balloon.
Well, the air balloon is... Yeah, yes, let's go with that. And so then they go back to 2004 and then crash on Lost Island.
Hey, it could happen.
Hey. That's a fanfic right there.
Somebody write that.
Off.
Write that
ABC, call us, okay?
Yeah, it's just...
I just love that line so much because it's so, like... brilliantly delivered.
It's just
shocking,
like...
cool, awful,
and it's
grotesque, brilliant, dark, cool, goth, punk, sick, amazing.
It's the way as well that, like, in the scene before, there is no indication of what's to come. Like, when they find the, like, parachute drop.
Yeah.
And they see them, and obviously, like, Jack, like, I really like how, like, Jack is so relieved. And I think that's, like, a really fun little detail. There's no, like, oh my god, you're alive. It's just, like, he sees them, and he's like, oh, Jesus Christ, okay. They haven't been taken.
Yeah.
They're all alive, and it's, like, we're like, oh, yeah, because it's true.
Because even when I saw the balloon, I was like, oh my god, he's telling the truth. But one could be like, well, this is just an elaborate trap, and they are going to get taken like you said they would.
Could be. And obviously, like, Jack and John don't know that the balloon was there, so they're, like, under the impression, like, Jack is very much clearly under the impression Henry is lying.
Yeah, but then it's like, what's Jack's plan? Because, like, he runs into camp being like, I gotta find them, I gotta chase Ana Lucia somehow, because she's going into danger. And then it's like, she left a day ago, man. Oh, God, well, guess I better go play 6 rounds of poker then.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense. I guess it's just that he gets distracted. I mean, I think it's like, that is a massive plot hole. Because it's like, yeah, he can't follow them. Sure.
Kate's a tracker.
But, like, even if he can't follow, like, he said to Henry, he was like, make another map.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, if he was lying, he would just draw a different map, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
So, like, yes, okay, maybe he's thought of that and gone, okay, well, I can't do that.
But Kate's a tracker, John is a tracker. Either one of them
could go
with Jack to find them. But he just decides, actually, I'm good.
I guess, and like, it is maybe a situation of, like, we'll wait for their next move and see. But also, like, it's not a chill out and play cards situation.
No, and one of the things that does annoy me about this season more than the first season is I think there's there's actually less of a live together, die alone mentality, I'm gonna say, because I think there's a few occasions where the group will split off, and I understand why the writers are doing that, because narratively it's very interesting, but there's less of a, we all have to go after them and stick together.
Yeah.
Like, think about in series 1 when Claire gets kidnapped, there's been a whole episode trying to look for her, don't they?
Yeah.
And Charlie barely makes it out alive. Whereas, like, Michael just fucked off.
This is the thing. Weirdly, it's like after Walt got kidnapped, they all kind of split off. And I'm like, what?
No one's been actively trying to find Walt.
Apart from
Michael. And they did try and find Michael, and they got to the line and everything.
Admittedly, there was an attempt.
But, like, he doesn't even try. Bro didn't even try.
Yeah, it's bad. It is bad. And it's also like, Echo. Where's Echo at?
Yeah, where is Echo?
Echo knows there's a man in the hatch. He knows Ana Lucia. He knows what's going on.
It seems like...
He seems very on the ball. I feel like he's probably figured out what's going on.
Yeah. But it seems like Ana Lucia and Echo don't really talk to each other once. They went through so much together.
No, it is. I think the problem is that, like, because they, like, Echo and Ana Lucia in the nature of, like... And I think because as the plot gets more complicated, we can't have every character in every episode. And, like, in the beginning, we saw basically every character, basically every episode.
Yeah.
There was, like... I don't think it was, like, literally, like, Claire got kidnapped and then Claire wasn't in an episode because she'd been kidnapped. Like, everyone was in it all the time. And that really drops off the more characters we have and the more complicated the plot gets. Yeah. And so I think it's, like, in order to have a plot line with Echo and Ana Lucia, it's, like, the plot line is, like, what we have is we have, like, their flashback episodes where, like, Echo, in the 23rd Psalm, it's like, well... Echo's doing his own thing with Charlie or whatever.
And that's interesting, and I understand the impulse for the writers to be like, let's bring in some new characters to shake up the group dynamic and see how Jack would react to this person and how Charlie would react to this person.
Yeah. But it is
it doesn't, if it's not realistic, because, like, if I was Libby, for example, I mean, sure, she seems to have some kind of connection with Hurley, but, like, she's got no connection with anybody else. I'd be sticking with Ana Lucia.
Yeah.
I'd be sticking with Echo. Bernard, sure, it makes sense that he goes off to Rose, but, like...
And, like, Rose was never particularly integrated anyway. Like, they're doing their own thing.
They're doing their own thing.
But, yeah. No, it is, like... It doesn't really make sense. And it's also, like, I feel like we don't see nearly enough of Ana Lucia having to try and integrate into the group.
No, and I think...
It just feels like she never really gets there. Like, it's like... Nobody wants anything to do with her because she killed Shannon. But Jack talks to her because it's like Jack knows her.
Yeah.
And they have they have a great dynamic going on. I really like what they do together. But then it's like Jack just gets her involved in things as and when he wants to. And she doesn't talk to anyone else.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what, why? What?
Yeah.
If
you're going to go for that, take it to its extreme. Have her do what her plan was. Just be like, I'm going to just go off and live by myself in the jungle. Then she can sort of come back like Rousseau every now and then to just pop
her go off alone into the jungle, meet Rousseau.
And then they have a diva team up.
Team up together.
And just kill everything in sight.
Can you just do this image of, like Danielle and Ana Lucia, like, gossiping, and she's like, so what do you think of Saeed? And she's like, no, he doesn't like me, I kind of killed his girlfriend. And Danielle's like, good.
So his girlfriend's out of the picture.
So he's single? Good to know. Hey, speaking of Saeed being single, we haven't even mentioned it.
Mentioned what?
Nadia!
Oh my god, Nadia! I was like, so I dug up the grave.
Nadia!
Nadia's here. Nadia is a bit akin to Rousseau for me. Not only because I love them both, but also because, like, she's kind of... We're getting snippets of her life in the background of the story. And I kind of like that they haven't just left her. Do you know what I mean?
It all lines everything up into this timeline as well, doesn't it? Of, like... So John is doing what? Like, surveys on houses?
I think so. Home developer, did he say? I'm not really sure. But he's like checking the pipes and stuff.
I think it's like, when you buy a house and you could pay extra to, like, get an independent person to, like, check the house and see if there's, like, it's subsidence they've not told you about and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's that. I was mainly focused on the fact that he was wearing a boiler suit.
The boiler suit.
Very Dharma coded. It was called like Welcome Home as well. The company was called like Welcome Home, which I thought that's got relevance for sure.
Pretty good.
But yes, so exciting that it's Nadia who's doing the house for.
Yeah, so Nadia, she, first of all, we know she's alive.
Yes.
Because that actually, was still kind of up in the air.
Yeah, because they had that picture of her, but like...
But it's like that picture could have been taken any time.
Yeah. That could have been AI.
Could have been a deep fake. AI generate pictures. So she's in America.
Yes.
And so this is...
So it seems like she escaped the war zone.
The war zone.
Was able to emigrate to America and buy a house. And
now she's working her way up in the world.
Yeah.
And she's single. And now that comment, I was a bit like... Obviously, John, being like you and your husband, the point of that is for us to go, okay, she's still single, whatever. She's
still holding out for Saeed.
Holding out, waiting for Saeed.
She's holding out for a hero at the end of the night.
But it was like, the way it comes across is either A, that he's trying to flirt with her, or B, that he just doesn't believe a woman could buy a house on her own.
Yeah, and a very crucial part of Nadia featuring in this flashback narrative that we must mention, it would be remiss if we did not.
Of course.
There was a time when we attempted to write a full timeline of John's life.
So this was before we discovered the Lostpedia, we were independently creating the Lostpedia by hand in a notebook. We would sit down and write out everything we know about the Dharma Initiative and
we had notes, we made notes.
Everything we knew when we made this timeline of John's life, because it gets even more confusing the further it goes on. But because we have all these flashbacks that are kind of in quick succession, we were trying to work out what order they came in.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out how old he was and when all these different, because as you say, he kind of has a different job in every flashback.
Yeah.
So trying to figure out when he worked at these different places and stuff, which first of all, I'd really like that he does have a different job in, because
I think it's quite cool.
He's never settled, he's never found his purpose until he got to the island. So we were writing it down, we were writing down all the different events that we knew about in John's life. And at some point, I can't even remember what year we decided, but we were okay, this year, presumably, in the early 2000s, post the war.
Yeah, it was
or the 90s or something. Late
98
90s, I can't remember.
Something.
We were okay, this year, he's a home surveyor and he does that house for Nadia, was what we tried to write. But what we ended up writing was the phrase Nadia house pipe. And we found it so funny.
I don't know what happened. It was something got crossed in my mind and I just wrote Nadia house pipe.
Nadia house pipe. And
also, house pipe was one word.
House pipe was one word.
So we decided that was her surname.
It just became such a running joke for us that we were her name is Nadia Housepipe.
Nadia Housepipe.
So her surname is Housepipe to us. And honestly, it's required a lot of restraint to not mention that until now. Because, it's not a spoiler, but it would make zero sense.
It's it doesn't make any sense without the context
without this
there.
scene. So, whenever she comes up, I'm that's Nadia Housepipe.
And I think they should get married, and he should change his name to Saeed
Housepipe. Oh, excellent. Speaking of Nadia, I wanted to note that she lives at number 84. She lives at number 84. A couple others. I mentioned that the blast door, we first heard it when it went to 8. The safety deposit box that John gets out for Anthony is 1516. And on Henry Gale's ID that Saeed showed for a split second, I'm pretty sure it said his address was 815 something street.
Probably
Minnesota, I assume. But
house number 815 in Minnesota.
Yeah. The 815th house in Minnesota.
They don't have many there.
Imagine if he's not from Minnesota, but this guy has just been so he's been yes-anding, he's been creating a character profile, he's been hot-seating for Henry Gale, and he's just decided he's from Minnesota.
He's from Minnesota. The thing with the flashbacks this episode is I'm just I don't want to see Anthony Cooper anymore.
No, get him away.
And
when he rolled down that window and he had that awful hat and sunglasses,
I would just punch him in the face and run away. It's the way... First of all,
we know that John is capable of action hero moves from the Indiana Jones ass slide he did this week.
I know, I was God, he must have terrible... On top of, the leg injury, he's probably got awful friction, all down his chest. Yeah, I mean, it's first of all, we have that mafia-ass funeral event where there's like two guys loitering in pinstripe suits holding flowers and like fucking low hats. I was like, you about to pull out like a big machine gun and start talking in a bad Italian accent.
Literally, and also, I don't know if he said this, but it really sounded like it to me. When he introduced himself, it sounded like he said Jimmy Payne.
I swear he said his name.
I swear he said Jimmy Payne. Nice to meet you, I'm
Jimmy
Payne.
Jimmy Payne, I work with your father. Like, come on.
Oh.
And then we have the fucking wanker of the century
Jimmy Payne
pull up in that car with like the hat and the sunglasses.
Get him away.
Guess what? I'm alive. And it's also like he's dead for like 2 scenes.
Yeah.
For 2 scenes we live in this beautiful world where he's gone.
He's dead. But I don't think I ever really fully believed he was dead. Because I was like,
no, I was just
why
like,
are we starting the flashbacks with his death? Do you know what I mean? I was kind of a bit like,
where are we going from here?
Yeah. Unless it's all about John going to therapy and unpacking his daddy issues. Or well, it could have been like
he's inherited
some dodgy money.
Some kind of crime empire. I don't know what he does with his time.
Yeah, maybe crime empire.
I'm
Jimmy Payne, I work for you now.
Last episode when John Locke inherits a crime empire. It was all a cover.
Hey, Mr. Locke!
The box company was all a cover.
You send Jimmy Payne to do the job. Yeah.
It's just like, oh, fuck off, you know? Every time I see you,
but it's like, you know, we've already done the dead dad thing as well with Jack. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, is that what this is is that what he's going for with this? Maybe.
I mean, obviously, like, their parental situations are paralleled really well. And I think it's one of those things, I mentioned it before, like, I'm sure, but, like, I really like that Jack and John are never turned into a fucked up father-son dynamic.
Yeah.
Because they're both the son.
Yeah.
John is like, he's not
at
a point of being able to be like someone's fucked up father figure.
Oh, definitely not.
He's busy still being someone's fucked up son figure.
Yeah, completely.
And like they are very much placed on the same level despite like the age difference. It would be really easy for him to start like trying to be his dad, and also, but he doesn't really. Because he's like, he does it kind of with Boone. Yeah. And kind of with Walt, where he does this, like, old wise mentor thing. Yeah. But maybe he just knows Jack won't go for it. He's like, I need someone a bit sort of more young and naive to trust that I'm this wise old sage.
Yeah.
And not...
Or maybe he just sees too much of himself in Jack and it's like, no, we're cut from the same absolutely damaged cloth. Like, we can't know.
We're not doing this.
But yeah, important for Jack's character that he never sort of searches for another father figure as well.
I do think it's interesting because often, like, in, like, media, often the characters with really bad, like, parent issues end up kind of latching onto any, like, older figure who, like, cares about them, and that means that they're very vulnerable to being manipulated. Like, we see that with John, like... He's very vulnerable to be manipulated by his father. And then also, like, by extension, he's vulnerable to be manipulated by Henry, but I'm also like, there's not, like, a dad thing going on.
Well, this is what I was thinking, actually. We finished the episode today, and I was like, well, they obviously didn't intend for it to be homoerotic. That's just how it's come across. So, like, were they going for, like, thank you for not leaving me like my father did vibe?
I don't know.
Is that what they were... trying
surely John's older than Henry is.
I don't know. They seem around
Henry's
the same
just
age.
Got more hair.
Yeah. He's got a bit of a receding hairline going on.
I mean, yeah, they're like the same age, but like... It just... Yeah, I've written down like, I trusted you, Henry, now you need to trust me. And I was like...
They said that at one point.
Yeah, that was one of John's lines, and I was like, ooh, John. Ooh, baby. No. First of all, don't ever trust him.
For a long time, he will lie.
It's just... Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one, but I think, considering it's the daddy issues show...
Yeah.
You don't get so many of the, like... It's always just like, I've got baggage.
Yeah, it's kind of like they are a found family, but that's not really pushed.
Yeah.
necessarily.
Which I like, actually.
Yeah.
Because I think often, like, media gets really caught up in, like, you know, I never had a father.
Yeah.
And you're my boss at my job in this sitcom, and I'd like you to walk me down the aisle.
Yeah,
You know?
sometimes it can come across
And I'm
very
like, we
cringe
don't need that.
and like,
That was Parks and Rec, if anyone's wondering.
oh my god, yes, that does happen in Parks and Rec. Yeah, I think sometimes it can be done really well, sometimes it can be done really cliche, and yeah it's like lost kind of, it's more all sort of implied.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they have to stick together because they kind of have to. Like, they don't
They have no other choice. Like, crucially, they have no choice.
live together or die alone. Like, it's as simple as that.
Yeah. And even, like, the literal child doesn't get any other.
Well, he might have a little too much of the damaged father figure in his life.
Hang on, which child are we talking about?
Aaron.
I was talking about Walt.
Oh! I was talking about Aaron and how Charlie seems to think that he's his father.
Well, this
and
is the
then
thing. Then when
John
they try and force a found family thing, it doesn't work.
doesn't
She
work,
immediately
really,
falls
does
apart.
it?
I mean, I thought that was really nice having, like, Aaron and Claire,
pop in.
her being like, can you just
Can you just check out my gigantic baby for a second?
baby with this? My baby is 3 weeks old and has a huge head. Jack, should I be concerned?
Are they meant to grow this fast?
Jack, should he be this big?
Jack, look at him. Jack, is he too big?
He's sitting up on his own and I gave birth 2 weeks ago. And Jack's like, yeah,
He's eaten nothing but bananas. I don't... Look at him.
Jack's like, yeah, that is weird. And I really like as well that Jack does look at Aaron.
And that does make the pacing... It seems less weird then, because he has that moment where he sits down with Claire and then Libby comes over. It makes it less weird that he then suddenly decides to play poker.
Yeah, because it's kind of like he gets caught up in doing other
island
things.
life. But it's so excruciating when Sawyer's like, Hatch is still going to be there. You've got time. I'm like, no! No, go to the hatch!
Jack.
John's leg has a blast door bolt through it.
More importantly, John just let the prisoner out. Can you imagine an alternate universe where Jack went to the hatch, put in the code, and then they wait for the blast doors to go up and Henry's just standing there like, hey.
And Jack's like,
back in your cell. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like, it makes no sense, but I will forgive it because I do think this plotline's really funny.
yeah, it's funny.
It's really funny. And I think it does a very good, like, it's one of the things Lost does best is the, like, the funny plotline parallel with the really intense plotline.
Does it do it best?
I think-
Sometimes it seems incredibly jarring.
Mostly it does it well.
I think there are some occasions when there's more disparity than in this episode,
This is one of the best times.
but I do feel like there is a huge disconnect here. It's like we will be like intense, the world is going to explode, the buttons being like, you know, the sirens going off, John might die, Henry might kill him, we don't know. It cuts to Pair of Kings. Do you know what I mean?
But
Like,
could that, you know, just playing devil's advocate here, could that be an indication that the button is not as dangerous as we've been led to believe? If all the
possibly.
other characters are
The ground hasn't started quaking
completely
outside.
unaware of what's going on.
on. Yeah, maybe.
And it's also crazy though that they're all just like on the beach and no one noticed like a plane come over.
Yeah.
Which is also beg the question, you know,
Was
what if it just
playing?
appeared out by magic?
Paper magic. It's very video gamey,
Invisible bird. Big invisible bird.
Wonder Woman in the invisible plane.
It was Wonder Woman.
It was Wonder Woman
We
this
solved
whole
it.
time. Wait, it was Wonder Woman? Always has been. It's very like in a video game, you know, it's like you've found like a storage room.
Yeah.
And there's just inexplicably loads of health items and food in there.
Yeah.
You know?
You found everything you needed.
Yeah. Which I do really like.
The thing about the poker plotline also is it does have one of my favourite lines. One of, I think, the funniest lines in the script.
Yep.
Which is, should I go get a ruler?
Should I go get a ruler? Truly iconic.
Truly diva.
Incredible. It's like Kate's being genre aware. It's like, finally
Yeah.
someone needs to address it, please.
Like when they're like, what's happening? And Hurley says like, oh, Jack and Sawyer are finally gonna beat each other up. I'm like, Jack and Sawyer are finally gonna kiss.
Yeah. 100%.
This is one step away from strip poker.
Oh my god.
Genuinely.
There's probably a fanfic out there where this is a strip
almost
poker
definitely.
Scene. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it is truly like, I think you said it right after we finished the episode, but this one really does go, there are two types of gay flirting.
Yeah.
Like, really sexually loaded poker games, or like
life and death situation.
Yeah, you must go on. I can't live without you. No, but you pining, lying on the floor.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
That one bit where Henry like falls and gets knocked out, and they're like both laying on the floor like the fucking creation of Adam, reaching for each other. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Reaching out.
Touching hands.
Yeah. I mean, that bit is so intense though as well, because you're like, fuck, what if he's knocked out or dead? And then it's like, well, then no one can push the button.
Everything.
And also he's dead. Shit.
Yeah, like he was lying. Well, it's kind of a moot point because I killed him. What? It was an accident. He fell. But the poker game, I mean, it's a fun device.
I mean, it's a fun device for shipping fodder.
If totally inconsequential, because it's like, oh, Jack gets some medicine. He doesn't even get the Neosporin. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, he said, fuck you, Libby.
He was like, fuck that, I want antibiotics.
Yeah.
Also, what kind of power play is, I have STDs?
The way that they try and one-up each other in this kind of like, I know that they're bluffing or whatever, and like, you know, it's all strategic, but it's all very sexually loaded.
So funny.
Just what is that tactic?
Do you know what amoxicillin is? First of all, Sawyer dropped out of school in the 9th grade. This is some Sawyer lore.
We've learned so much. He dropped out of school in 9th grade. He knows what amoxicillin is because he's had STDs.
Yeah. Jack
in Tallahassee
went to Thailand.
Jack went to Thailand.
Also, Jack knows how to play poker. This makes sense for him, because I feel like Jack's sort of Friday nights as a child were spent with his dad across the table with like whiskey and a cigar, dealing cards at him and being like, count them, Jack. Win the game. If you beat me, then you can have fun and have a childhood. And so now, like, Jack...
That fits. But then he says that's not where he learnt. He learnt to play in Phuket. So...
But I don't think so. I think he's just like, I'm not going to get into that.
Let's not get into that. Well, because then it would become a different scene, wouldn't it? Jack would start crying, and then it would be like...
Jack's like, my dad wouldn't let me leave the table until I counted all the cards, and then Sawyer's like, well, at least your dad was alive. And he's like, not anymore!
And then they kiss.
And then they kiss again. But then it's just the same as the lockdown, and then we need the two sides.
We need the contrast, we do. We need two sides of gay flirting, we do.
But genuinely, like, I know it's a throwaway line, but the fact that, like, we don't learn anything about Sawyer's childhood post the fact that his dad killed his mom and then himself when he was, like, 8. Because I always wondered what happened to Sawyer after that.
Yeah, so 9th grade, if it's the same as year 9, which I believe it is.
I think it's one above in America, so I think it would be year 10.
The same. But regardless, that's when you're about 15-ish,
yeah.
So he still stayed in school.
Yeah.
Until he was about 15 and then dropped out.
Presumably to do
cons.
Crime.
To do crime.
He inherited a crime. He met a fella called Johnny Payne.
It's Jimmy Payne!
Jimmy Payne, sorry boss.
Get that wrong again, you'll be sleeping with the fishes. I turned into Matt Berry at the end a little bit there. You'll be sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah, but it is just like, it's like...
I like the bit where Sawyer's like, think you're in my head, Doc? Just like literally twitching at the face. Like, you think you're in my head?
Are you alright? It is funny.
It is funny.
It's the way everyone's gathering around. Like, even, like, some extras are there.
Yeah.
It's, like, Libby and Hurley and Kate, and then, like, a couple of extras pull up and start, like, whispering to each other, and I was like, everyone's gathered around to watch the mating ritual. Here we see Jack and Sawyer in their natural habitat.
But yeah, I mean, I always like to see Sawyer getting taken down a peg, so that was good.
Yeah!
And they're betting with papayas as well, which made me giggle. I mean, how much is the amoxicillin worth? About 3 papayas.
Put your mangoes where your mouth is. That's a
oh
good
my
line.
god, I forgot about put your mangoes where your mouth is.
That's a good line. Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's like the papayas make a return from the video game as an important...
As a form of currency.
Put
your mangoes where your mouth is, fuck me.
But also, I mean, it is interesting in the sense of, like, Sawyer has set himself apart from the whole group. He made this whole show of being like, nobody talk to me anymore, everybody hates me, and then it's like he's just playing cards with Hurley and Kate.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, he's winning the medicine.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, actually. It's like it was just all...
For
show, and he's just immediately gone back to being friends with everybody.
Helen said, are you him?
Helen did say, are you him?
What it was Snowman say to the other Snowman?
Listen, sweetheart.
Slap. We get some more crumbs of, like, Dharma lore this episode.
Yeah, I mean, God, it's just so... like, you know, when we got the orientation film, it said, like, station 1 of 6, but we were looking at that map, and it looks like there's 8 stations
like more than
on
6,
there.
yeah.
But one of them does look like it's kind of crossed out.
Yeah, we paused it.
We had a good old long look, yeah.
So it looks like we could see one that looked like it had the, like, doctor symbol on.
Yes.
Which
so
would be the one they went to maternity leave. Yeah. So we were like, that's that one.
And then we know about the other one as well, that the tail section found
the Bible and stuff.
Yeah, so that's 3. But it looks like there might be 5 more.
Yeah, maybe we haven't discovered
maybe
yet.
Just 3 more. But maybe 5 more. But, I mean, it's all about that big question mark in the middle, right?
Yeah.
It's just so,
and I think it's such a poignant thing to have this big question mark at the centre of it all. Because it's like, at the end of the day, that is the experience of, like, the show.
Yeah.
Is that
you get these little bits and pieces.
Have this big question in the middle.
I am here. You know where you are. You know what's happening right now, but you just don't understand.
And it's
so
like,
if
I was to make a big corkboard with, like, thread connecting things... on Lost, it's like it would all come back to, but I don't know that, and I don't know that, and I don't know this, and there's this huge question mark in the middle of, like, where are they? You know?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
That we never really, like, we're never gonna find out. Or are we?
But also and, really interesting when you think about it as, like, who drew this map.
Yeah.
Even they didn't know.
This is what I was gonna say.
What was in the middle.
Everyone has unanswered questions.
Yeah.
Nobody knows everything.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm trying to think, like, in the other 48 days, remind me, do they find the hatch station when they still have Goodwin?
Yes.
Did he seem surprised?
He seemed a little surprised.
Because obviously we couldn't mention it, like... too much how the like stations connected and stuff, but it begs the question, like, do the others know about the stations?
Yeah.
How much do the others know about the stations?
Yeah.
Are the others connected with the Dharma Initiative?
Yeah.
Are they not?
Is Henry one of the others? If so, when he was reacting like, what the hell is this place, what's going on, did he actually not know any of that, or was he
pretending? Was he actually like, yeah, it's all really fuzzy, and I think that's really good.
Yeah. I'm wondering if the question mark at the middle might refer to, like, the dark territory.
Yeah.
And where the monster is, because it's like...
the Black Rock and...
That's all question mark. Like, what goes on there? Do you know what I mean? That's like a scary sort of place.
We still don't know where the radio tower is, as well.
Yeah, Rousseau's tower.
So that could relate...
Tower,
but where she sent the message, yeah, that could relate to the map in some way. Mm-hmm. Also, it begs the question, like, is the island octagonal?
Maybe.
Who knows? We haven't seen the whole island. We don't get, like, a handy-dandy drone shot.
No. And also, like, how much can we... Again, it's all... Like, whenever we got stuff from Rousseau, it was all, like, an unreliable narrator. And, again, we have no idea who made this map. Can we even trust anything that's on it? Like, Desmond seemed to be, like, not entirely with it. not entirely well adjusted, let's say.
And like Desmond also, like, he's told us things that we could verify aren't true, you know, like he's saying you can't live outside the thing because like you'll get sick and you'll die, and like he is not really aware that there's an outside world outside of the hatch. And
but this is a secret message. So like he believes all of that because that's what the tape and stuff has told him. But maybe this is like the secret.
But my point was more being, if he's made this map, can we trust it? Because we don't. Can we trust what he has to say?
Does he even know what he believes?
Wow, where's he gone?
Desmond,
come back.
Come back, please.
Come back, because we're confused. Did you know about this? Imagine if they brought him back in and he was like, whoa.
Never seen that before in my life.
Never seen that. How did you do that? Yeah, I lived here for 3 years and I never saw that. That'd be so funny.
How often do the pallet drops come as well? That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
And also,
it's like,
why are they still happening? Why are the pallet drops? Because the Dharma Initiative
presumably aren't doing things anymore.
No, unless they are, but just not on the island. Or unless the others are the Dharma Initiative, I guess. But like, Desmond was not part of the Dharma Initiative. He was the only one in the hatch pressing the button. Why would the Dharma Initiative be sending him food?
And no replacements came.
No replacements came, yeah.
After 500 days or whatever it was.
So that gives me the impression there's no Dharma Initiative. But there must be some kind of Dharma Initiative, because who else is sending the food?
In post. Amazon.
Delivery.
Amazon next day delivery. John just hacked into the computer.
It wasn't a plane or a giant bird or anything, it's just one guy on an electric scooter.
Yeah. He had an hour window. He didn't have time to, he knocked on the door and then he left.
I think on the third watch it's still exciting because of the structure of it. I think the tension is really good, the kind of levels of tension. I always like the button as a device to build tension, and it's done really well in this episode. And we even have further threats beyond the button, you know, like John's leg and what the blast door map means and all of that.
And also, like, you know, it's played as like, yeah, he could stand, he's fine, but like John is quite badly injured.
Yeah.
Which could cause a lot of problems for the plot, you know. He can't track, he can't hunt.
Mm-hmm. They've kind of given up on that though, haven't they?
I mean, narratively, yeah. They still need to eat. But I guess conveniently they just had a food delivery.
We've just got, you know, our Uber Eats has just arrived. Really the only final thing I have to say in this episode is solemnly lockdown.
Do you think that was intentional?
Yes.
I never connected that.
You've never connected the name of this episode.
Lockdown.
Is Lockdown.
Diva down.
And Diva is down. Lock is down in this episode. Called Lockdown.
In another universe where Lost is really gay, this episode's called Diva Down, and it's just like, it's everything's the same except Henry has a husband, also called Henry.
But everything else remains the same.
Everything else is exactly the same. And the record that John's playing at the beginning is like Shania Twain. It's
Superstar, where you from? How's it going? On the bike.
I think let's wrap it up there.
I think we should.
This has been fabulous today.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. I'm excited because I got a new laptop recently. This is our first episode we recorded on the new laptop. And I just looked over and it says I have enough storage for 337 hours of podcast. Usually it says like 5.
Oh my god.
And I have to keep deleting stuff on my old laptop.
Velvet, we can yap for so long.
I have so
the yapping
much
potential
storage.
is endless. Well, it's 300 hours,
it's
but
337 hours and 11 minutes, but that's okay.
I think that's plenty of time.
That's all I got
to unpack at least one mystery, I think.
We could answer at least one question in that time.
Mm-hmm, I think so.
Yeah, this has been fabulous. Follow us on all the socials,
yes,
etc. Check the description for all of our handles. We'll be posting all kinds of stuff.
You can follow me as well at Ariel Hebditch on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Yeah.
And please get your tickets to Lost All Caps Live, the live recording of this podcast for our 50th episode. And, you know, we haven't actually said the title of that episode that we're going to be screening live, but I think today might be the day.
I think we can tell you the episode is called Question Mark.
It's just called Question Mark. And
Just the character.
I love that in and of itself, because that's so fucking cool to just have a symbol as the title of the episode. And the fact there's a question mark as well, incredible. But also, you might have an inkling as to what might be happening in that episode. Now.
It's a fantastic one, and I can't wait to talk about it
Yes.
with you all.
Live in the room!
But in the meantime, we will see you next week for Dave.
Now Velvet's very excited.
I'm really excited for Dave. And yeah, this has been great.
We'll see you then.
Bye.